that we are averaging less yards than when the Bears had Sid Luckman passing. Sid Luckman played quarterback for the Bears in the 1940s, and he is averaging more yards per game than what the Bears are averaging right now in 2021. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is Juju Sports Corner, and I hope you all enjoyed the last video where I basically freelance my thoughts regarding the Ohio State Buckeyes 2021 season and my disappointment that we could have reached the national title in back-to-back years, but once again defensive issues arose. That was the last video. This video, I said in the last video, part 1 was going to be the state of my favorite team regarding college football. This is part 2, when we're discussing the dumpster fire that is my hometown team, the Chicago Bears. And oh my god, I don't even know where to start. Just hit my intro. We got lots to talk about in this one, because I've been fed up all year. Hit my intro. All right, we got. Let me make sure I put this on silent, because we got lots to talk about. Let's journey back to the offseason, where they had that end of the year press conference with the team president. Much like other Bears fans like myself, we all thought that, hey, this is the moment. This is the moment. They're going to fire Nagy. They're going to fire Ryan Pace. We're going to clean house and get a fresh new look and a fresh new start. We're just going to wipe our hands clean after the disappointing season we just had. They said, I'm trying to keep this as clean as possible. They said, screw all of y'all. We're going to bring them back for one more season because we backed our way into the playoffs. Instead of just cutting bait right then and there. That was the first sign of this season was going to be god awful. Second sign, because we did sign Mitch Trubisky, and I know people will say that he was better for this offense. No, y'all did not watch this offense week in and week out. Y'all watch Red Zone. Trubisky would miss wide open people down the field, just straight up miss them. He will miss wide open short and intermediate throws with nobody around him, just miss. No. If you can't even hit the layups, what good are you as a quarterback? You can't even hit the layups. And don't give me. And Trubisky also had a much better team than Justin Fields currently has. He had a much better team, a younger defense, a better O-line. Like, the only issue was literally him. That was the issue. So, because we didn't re-sign Mitch Trubisky, we went out and got Andy. We got Andy Dalton, bro. And don't get me wrong, Andy Dalton is a serviceable backup quarterback now. When he was with AJ Green and the Bengals, when they was really rolling, going to the playoffs, yes, he was a Pro Bowl quarterback. He could, win you games. But now that he's further along in his career and he's not as good as he was when he was younger, he's more likely to lose you games than win them. Listen, I knew it was a bad signing from day one. Because Dallas has a much more talented offense than the Chicago Bears. When he sucked in Dallas, because Dak Prescott, as we all know, he got hurt last year. When Andy Dalton came in, they still had a shot to win their division. He still had a shot to get to the playoffs. And because of Andy Dalton being god-awful and also getting hurt as well, they could not reach the playoffs. So now I'm thinking that, okay, we signed Andy Dalton. Are we moving on from Nick Foles? Nope, he's still on the team. So now we have two different quarterbacks making $10 million that perceivably are not the answer long term. They're not even bridge quarterbacks. They're both bad at this point in their career. And here's where I get truly upset at Ryan Pace and why I want him completely off the team. Yes, we kind of lucked our way into getting Justin Fields. Yes, that was great. Because everybody in the world knew we needed a quarterback. We got one for the future. Great. That's great. You did a great job, Ryan Pace and Nagy, by getting a quarterback. My issue is, we could have used that money to sign Andy Dalton and just not sign him. Like we could have just kept Nick Foles if we wanted a serviceable backup vet in the locker room. You know what we could have did? We could have just kept Kyle Fuller. Because do you know what our defense is like if our pass rush isn't getting home? And that's without all the injuries we have on defense currently at the moment. We only have one corner that's decent, and that's Jalen Johnson. Duke Shelley, Kendall Vildor, and there's one other corner that name is escaping me, get cooked on a regular basis. Unless you have an all-world receiver like Nuke Hopkins, Antonio Brown, Devontae Adams, most of them quarterbacks are not throwing Jalen Johnson's way. Why would they? Why would they when my other receivers see barbecue chicken on the other Bear defensive backs? We only came into the year with one good defensive back on the team in a passing league. Who does that? As a GM, who does that? That doesn't make sense at all. Now, granted, Robert Quinn is having an amazing year, which clearly just showed me that he was just hurt last year. Now we have injuries. And because we have injuries, the depth isn't there. Like, we just don't have it. So our defense is not only old, they're getting injured, and our young guys on the team are not experienced enough to really hold their own. And here's where we come into the issue of Matt Nagy. Now, I'm going to say this in the nicest of ways possible. He's a leader of men. I believe, in my heart of hearts, I believe he's a coach. He can be a CEO coach. His issue is he wants to call plays, and he is not a good play caller. He is not a good play caller. My LB, who's in the frat, I'm in the frat. My LB, who's a big fan of the Chiefs, okay? When we hired Matt Nagy to be the coach, he literally warned me, and he was like, dude, he's not the answer. I was confused on what he meant. I see the vision now. This dude is a terrible offensive coordinator. He cannot call plays to save his life. The issue on offense, I don't even know where to begin. Like, seriously, I don't know. I truly believe it's a combination of... It is a combination of between bad personnel and scheme. Because the Bears historically have always been a team that we're going to ground and pound, control the clock. We're going to win with defense, special team, and a run game. We're like the Wisconsin, Iowa of the NFL. Literally. I wish I'm joking. I am not. You watch Wisconsin and Iowa on any given Saturday, then you watch the Bears of old, like literally from any time since the 2010s when we decided to open up the passing game. It's like looking in the mirror. Here's the issue. We drafted 2 offensive linemen, which I think were good picks. Don't get me wrong. I think there were good picks in Larry Borom and Tevin Jenkins. The issue is they got hurt. One got hurt in the offseason. He's just now getting cleared to play. And stupidly, like literally, this broke last week. Matt Nagy said he wasn't going to play the young draft. He wasn't going to play Tevin Jenkins because we are not mathematically out of the playoffs. Just let that sink in. He's not going to play our supposedly future left tackle because we are not mathematically out of the playoffs. The Bears' record is 4-8. What in the world is Matt Nagy talking about? We are 4-8. Start the kid. I don't care. We didn't sign we didn't sign Jason Peters to be here long term. We drafted the kid to be here long term. Play him. Let's see what we have. This is a lost season. It's time to get these young guys reps. All right, so let's you know what? I'm gonna work my way up to Matt Nagy. On a lighter note, what position I am pleased with and what I think the offensive line does well, and what has historically done well for the Bears, the ground game. Our running game is actually pretty good between David Montgomery and Khalil Herbert. Our ground game is good. It's working. It's churning. We can move the ball running the football, which also probably means that our other running backs, including Tariq Cohen, is not going to be on the roster next year. It's just not going to happen. So we actually move the ball well, running the football, which kind of puzzles me as to why in the world can we not throw off of that. Everybody knows we're going to be running the football because it's all we can do. And then you're going to put 8 in the box. We can't throw play action passes off of that. You want to know the reason why? Because our receivers can't get open. It's been multiple games this year where our receivers and tight ends cannot get open on man coverage. Allen Robinson, Mooney, who's come on very strong this year. I'm actually pleasantly surprised with him this year. Cole Kmet is, he's improving. He needs to shore up his hands. He needs to get better blocking, but I'm liking what I've seen from him. They've all struggled with man coverage. We have all this speed on the outside, and they can't get open on man coverage. That's a scheme issue. You can't scheme people open. What is happening, bro? We scored. They should have. I made a video right after that Cleveland game where we gave up 9 sacks on my other channel. We gave up 9 sacks in one game. We only had 1 total passing yard in an NFL game. Please tell me why Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace didn't get fired after that game. Because at that point, everybody should have been fired. I do not care how good the defense is and how much they held on in that game. You only get one total passing yard in an NFL football game. Everybody deserved their walking papers after that. That should never happen in an NFL game. You get 1 total passing yard? Nah, bro. Nah. And yes, I'm rambling, but I'm working my way up to Matt Nagy. Well, firmly working my way up. Here's where my real beef lies with Matt Nagy. He tried to sell Bears fans that Andy Dalton was the answer. And we just saw him this past Sunday throw 4 interceptions against the Cardinals. Were we going to win that game? No. We were not going to win that game whatsoever. Could we at least kept it close? Yes. Yes, we could have kept the game close had we not turned the ball over 4 times because of Andy Dalton. He threw a pick on the first drive of the game. You throw a pick on the first drive of the game, you're not winning that game. That's just setting the tone for the day. You're just not going to win that game. Matt Nagy tried to sell Bears fans in the offseason that Andy Dalton was the answer because he has more experience running an NFL offense, and we're in a win now mode. I just saw a stat that said, and this was today, that we are averaging less yards than when the Bears had Sid Luckman passing. Sid Luckman played quarterback for the Bears in the 1940s, and he is averaging more yards per game than what the Bears are averaging right now in 2021. Bro, Matt, I'm going to say this one more time. Matt Nagy tried to sell Bears fans that Andy Dalton was the answer for this season, and we are in a win-now mode, and he's getting all the first-team reps. And now, when you look around the league at other teams that drafted quarterbacks, Mac Jones, Sunshine, Trevor Lawrence, Trey Lance, they all got first-team reps in the offseason. Every single one of them. Now, granted, Mac Jones and Trevor Lawrence were the guaranteed day one starters. Yes. But they all got training camp in the offseason to work with the ones, get comfortable with their receivers, working with the ones, to make sure, the chemistry was there. When we threw Justin Fields in after Andy Dalton got hurt, especially after the Browns game, and it showed during the Packers game during scramble drills, and it showed that the team did not practice scramble drills, and it also showed that there was no chemistry, and it showed that we should have played Justin Fields with the ones in the offseason during training camp. That should have happened. How is you as a coach, you draft a quarterback first round and you don't let him get reps with the ones? I have never heard that, because most of the teams coming in know that if you draft a quarterback round one, mind you, that they are your long-term answer and they are going to get reps with the ones, even if they are not starting day one, just so that continuity and chemistry is built. The Bears didn't do that. Literally, our team president had to force our head coach to play Justin Fields because he, like everyone else in the fan base, knew that Andy Dalton was not going to get it done. Now, did Justin struggle when he came in? Yes. Did every Bears fan expect him to struggle when he came in? Also, yes. Because we knew we were throwing him into a fire, especially when we learned that he wasn't getting day one reps with the ones. So we all knew he was going to struggle. But we also knew that the more he played, the better he would look. And the more experience he got, the quicker he would learn. He's learning on the fly. That's what this season should be geared towards, is learning on the fly for our young guys. And because the NFC is so bad for that last wild card spot, we are still somehow in the hunt for the playoff game. I don't want to make the playoffs this year, and I can't believe I'm saying that. I don't want to make the playoffs this year, bro, because I want everybody gone. And you know what? And I also can't believe I'm saying this. I hope Green Bay puts up 50. I hope Green Bay on Sunday. Oh my God, we're on Sunday Night Football. Oh my God, we're on Sunday Night Football. And then we're on Monday night against the Vikings. Oh my God. I'm sorry, America. Y'all are going to have to watch 2 primetime games for the Bears in back-to-back weeks. Dear God. Why? Yeah, I hope Green Bay puts up 50. Get Matt Nagy out of here, bro. I've checked out on this season after Justin got hurt because honestly, we know this team is going nowhere with all the injuries on defense we have. And with the offense looking like a dumpster fire week in and week out. If Justin's not playing, why in the world should I watch as a fan? What is selling me to watch these games? For the love of the team? No. Y'all made way too many mistakes for me to care about this season. And if you aren't playing the young guys, we can actually see what they look like against all NFL players, against the starters. How are we going to know what we have as a team? So this season has just been a colossal mismanagement between Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy. Both of them need to go. From the way the roster is built to the way the offensive scheme is ran and how we don't have an identity on offense when our identity should be run the ball through Montgomery and Khalil Herbert and throw the rock and throw the ball after it. Play action, boot, take deep shots to catch the defense off balance, screens. And we're just not doing none of that week in and week out. We're just not doing it. We're not doing it enough. How in the world do we have a top 10 rushing attack, but a top 30, a bottom 20 passing attack? Something in the milk ain't clean there. Something in the milk is not clean there. So, yeah, between Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy, what they dubbed this in this past offseason, a collaboration. This collaboration has gone horribly wrong. And every Bears fan knew it was going to go horribly wrong, which is why most Bears fans wanted them gone after this past season when we backdoored our way into the playoffs. That should have been a time to cut our losses then, and we didn't do it. And now we're paying for it now with a probable, 5-12 season? 5-11 season? I'm giving us one game against the Vikings. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but in one offseason, both the Vikings and the Bears might lose their coaches. This season has been one of pure frustration, and I'm ready for everybody to get fired. I've had enough of this. I might not tune in for the rest of the season, to be quite honest with you. I might just be watching Red Zone from here on and from here out. But this is Juju Sports Corner. If you made it this far, please make sure you leave a like and hit that subscribe button for your boy. Make sure you hit that bell notification so you are notified every single time I upload. I'm gonna get up out of here before I end up yelling at clouds like an old man. But I'm Juju the Gamer. This is Juju Sports Corner. See you next time.